everybody, before you watch the video, make sure you follow the page, like the video, hope you enjoy.
I think jiu-jitsu, it breaks a little bit this conception that is like aggressive, because it's actually artsy, you know what I mean? So people come here think, oh my God, what's going to happen? You know, martial arts, and we're going to get, people going to get all over me and all that. But then they realize, wow, this is just a game that we're playing, like a chess with using our own body. It's very artsy. It's very, but we use a lot of our brains, and our movement, so it is no threatening, at the end of the day. So they leave with a smile in the face, you know what I mean? At least they done it.
You're not going to get punched in the face.
You're not going to get punched. That's exactly right. No elbow in the head.
Maybe you can do some striking later.
I think what jiu-jitsu is like, and a lot of people talk about this stuff, is it's what you put into it. You know what I mean? Like if you come aggressive and crazy and all this stuff, you're gonna create that type of training.
Yeah.
So if you come here to bash people, you're going to get some type of feedback on that from your partner, because unless the person's way more skilled than you, they probably don't have the ability to train with you in a way that's calm and relaxed. As you lift intensity, other people do. So if you want to have a relaxed, calm training, you can absolutely have that. You just have to come with that approach and have more the approach of learning as opposed to winning and bashing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which, again, like anybody that comes from any other sporting background or whatever, most of the time it's about intensity. Intensity means you win. The problem with jiu-jitsu is because it's so technical, and if you haven't been training for a long time, you have to try to make up for that technicality with explosion or strength or speed or athleticism. It becomes like that type of brawl type training that, again, it can be good sometimes, but you shouldn't try to train like that all the time. So I just wanted to comment on what Eduardo was saying. It's like jiu-jitsu can be extremely intense, like anything else, but it's based on the individuals involved. It's not based on the art itself. This is something that I think people don't truly understand. Whatever you're doing, it's a reflection of you. It's a reflection of how you behave. It's not a reflection of the thing itself. That thing it's like when people talk about weaponry and things as well. It's like that thing's only dangerous when, dynamite, whatever, is put in the hands of somebody that's misusing that thing. You can be a really nice person that does jiu-jitsu. You can be a really horrible, terrible individual that punishes people with jiu-jitsu. It's based on the individual. What I seem to see, though, is the longer people train jiu-jitsu, the more they actually, for whatever reason, fall into that archetype of a more decent human being, because you're humbled constantly and you're beaten down and destroyed, and you have to kind of try to overcome that stuff of letting go of your perception of yourself and your ego and all that type of thing. But jiu-jitsu can be just as intense as kickboxing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, it depends on the individuals and depends on the training.
Yeah.
So, but it's not crazy. And we kind of, at Gaha, we kind of create a culture where we, again, try to focus more on learning and all that type of thing.
And you can set the intensity when you train with somebody. I've tested it. I'll, go a little bit harder, and they go harder, and I'm like, okay, if I feel like this person could hurt me, I'm not going to go
crazy,
nuts.
Yeah.
So you get to kind of decide,
for sure,
really. And if you don't, and they're just monstering you, then maybe you can always pick and choose who you want to roll with.
Train with, absolutely.
I think people gravitate towards certain people. That's what I've noticed in the gym.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is people gravitate towards certain training partners. Why? Because they get good training out of those sessions. So, and that's totally okay too. If you're thinking about coming in, that's part of training at the gym, is you get to sort of pick and choose, and you're not going to just be thrown with somebody that maybe you don't feel like rolling with, or it's going to destroy you. So,
that's a good point though. To do with the training intensity and stuff, and you can pick and choose. I think that's an important point. If you're upset, because a lot of people will be like, oh, we're training too hard. Like maybe it's you sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe it's ourselves. Like if you're upset about the type of training you're having, sometimes you have to kind of look in the mirror and say like, am I creating that type of training, or is it the other people? It might be the other people. And then you go, all right, well, I'm going to try to, if I am going to train with them again, I'm going to try and create a scenario where I don't have to train like that, like put them in a position where they can't do all the craziness. That's the problem. Or maybe it's you and you have to adjust how you're approaching doing stuff, because like what you're saying is like a very like well thought out logical way of thinking, and a lot of people don't think like that, you know what I mean? A lot of people just turn up and just bash and bash and bash and go home and come back and do the same thing. Like it's interesting that, you know, like how long have you been training jiu-jitsu now?
4 years.
Yeah, so 4 years. Like even in such a short period of time, you're recognizing like really important things that lead to like, you know, people that have achieved black belt level or higher or gotten to high levels of jiu-jitsu, they have this type of understanding. So for somebody that's gotten it in quite a short period of time, it shows that you're somebody that thinks about what's happening and why it happens, and you question things and you analyze things, and that's the type of mindset that you need to get good at jiu-jitsu. Like it's very difficult to get good at such a technical art or something that's so diverse in the way you do it and apply it if you don't look at it. You have to be like introspective. You need to look at what you're doing and what does that mean, and if I do this, that leads to that, and if I do this, it leads to that. And I think that's just like it's an admirable quality for people to have. Like you need to have this ability to get good at things in the world and in life and stuff, and especially jiu-jitsu. So
well, I think that came from like wanting like self-preservation. Like in jiu-jitsu, you know, it's such a, it can be harsh at times, like on your body.
Absolutely, yeah.
So wanting to just self-preservation was like what led me to that. Like, okay, well, if I'm going to be rolling with someone, how am I going to roll with them now? I remember when I first started though, my shoulders were always sore and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I was like, why are my arms like aching all the time? And it's because I was just using so much strength. Yeah. That, and I wasn't able to train as much as I wanted to. So I'm like, okay, I got to relax a little bit, you know, like, and then I can train more, and I'm not going to totally destroy my body and have to quit altogether. Yeah. You know, for me, this is a long-term thing. So I had to think about like, what do I need to do? And then other people came into that too, because, you know, you can't do jiu-jitsu unless you have a training partner.
Absolutely.
So
I think this is very important. Like,
hey guys, thanks so much for watching the video. If you haven't yet already, make sure you subscribe, like, and again, go and check us out on Facebook, on Instagram, like all our platforms. Give us a follow at bjj.101 on Instagram, and go and check out bjj101.com.au to access the full video library.